it go. What it do, peoples? This is Enigma's Unchained. This is T Enigma with Ice Enigma. How you doing, brother? Can't complain.
One day down, not on the go.
That's what's up. I also got our homie back on, our brother. We got the ordinary fellow Jay. He's back again. How you doing, man?
Yo, I'm good. It's crazy out here in the hood, man.
Oh, I bet, man. Yeah, like that. That's an episode all in of itself right there. If you were ever willing, we would allow. Just letting you know ahead of time.
I mean, kids playing with storm drains, folks shooting, crack deals. Well, actually, it's more heroin and weed, but okay. Whatever. I know that's not better. That's not better.
You say like, yeah, they got collard greens at the station in the.
Shoot, man, it wouldn't we wouldn't like it wouldn't be a food desert if there was collard greens. But that's also a different situation.
Also, yeah, facts. Yeah, like that. Like I said, that'll be I really do want to do something about like as far as like us talk about the dynamics and stuff like that in the future. So we'll get to that a little bit later on. But today we were gonna do one called the Ranger Revolution, but we're gonna postpone that for right now. We're gonna do, especially since like Bleach got the announcement that they're actually about to jump it back up and get everybody back in. We're gonna talk about Bleach the anime. We're gonna deal with that, and we're gonna look at like the things that we like, the aesthetic and things like that. And we're gonna also talk about things we didn't like and our favorite character, and we'll go through those particular emotions to see how we feel. So I got a quick but Enigma of the day first, because I got a fun one. Got a fun one for anime, especially for anime heads. So dry humor versus wet humor. You both know what that means before I go on. I think we all do, but dry humor being American, very sarcastic, so forth, so on. And then we got wet humor that is more of the falling on the face. It's like slapstick in a way, like the Japanese, Chinese, they usually do, but especially in Japanese anime, they do the teardrops, the snot, the blood, all this type of stuff. Like dude sees a girl he likes, it's like a cannon flying out his nose of blood, and I'm like, dang, So, question: what do you think?
Yes. because it's both, depending on the context.
Okay, cool. I mean, again, that actually was going to be the question. So you answered yes. So it pretty much is. But I was going to ask, which one you prefer. So like that. That's a So I'm actually more of a dry humor guy. I like sarcasm more. But I also see the value in how the Japanese have actually found a way to get their own humor across and how popular that is and stuff like that. I just find it interesting, that whenever we deal with humor in American cartoons, like you can look at Batman animated series and the rest of them joints, and you'll see like how it's a lot of dry humor. And then you flip to Teen Titans, and Teen Titans has wet humor. I'll say like the influence of Japanese anime on American animation. Now, I thought it was very interesting. But like just dealing with that, so I kind of favor American style. But how about you, Mitchell? What are you feeling?
Oh man, to be honest with you, I could take both. But I mean, I love my sarcasm.
Yeah, facts. I think we all love sarcasm. Yeah, like sarcasm to me is a spice of life. Sometimes it helps you get over a bad day. Sometimes it makes a good day better. Sometimes, sometimes, yeah, it's not guaranteed. So, and you enjoy
sarcasm, so sarcasm is, to me, it transitions to mean too easily. Okay,
that's fair.
So I'm the type of dude where like unless we planned ahead of time and discussed that we were going to slapbox, then I shouldn't be slapboxing because I'm going to get mad. And then I'm not, because, like impromptu slapboxing is not for me because I'm going to get mad. And then I'm going to go grab a brick because, And so that's what sarcasm is like to me. Like we have a limit. As long as we know what the rules of engagement are, it's fine. but it can slide into being super mean really quick. And I find like with wet humor, if it gets mean, it's at least funny with its meanness.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're all, especially like communities of color, we like to roast people. We like to have the roasting sessions, talking about people's mamas and stuff like that. Like, look, man, some of that stuff is too mean. Some of that stuff is like, that's unconscionable. You can't say that. His daddy's dead. You can't joke like that. Stuff like that.
That's facts. You know, like, it's crazy. So there's a crew of comedians called All Deaf Digital, ADD. On YouTube, hilarious bunch of people, and they got one segment that they started. I think that it was actually, I don't want to say stolen, because they kind of like, they was like, okay, because Russell Simmons owns Def Jam and he kind of got collaboration with MTV, so it's like, yeah, it don't matter. But they started this joint called Roast Me, and then they were like, put a person in a chair, and then it's like a class of like 15 people, and they're just roasting the sucker that's sitting in the chair. you know, it's some of the meanest, jokes I ever heard, but laughing your face off. I'm like, oh my God. Like there was one guy that they were doing a skit though, and they went through the whole skit, everybody clowning everybody else, and this one dude wasn't getting clowned, and they clowned him, and he was all right, man, y'all, you know what I'm saying? Like y'all ain't gotta do all that, we good, right? And they just kept hitting him, and he was like, I'll be back, man, you know what I'm saying? He was a cameraman, and he kept the camera on. And he said, I got to use the bathroom. He went to the bathroom and he was crying. He was crying. I can't believe they're talking about me. How dare they talk about me? You're talking about my mama. It was a deconstruction of the roasting that they did in that one moment. I thought it was pretty funny. But yeah, I think we kind of agree on, I think that, like, especially like with anime does it so doggone well. Like having
because it's visual though. Like they have their own they have their own visual language, like with the sweat drops and the vein popping out, and like people's nose, like getting nosebleeds from thinking something perverted. Like there's a whole language set with that kind of stuff like that. And to me, the best at it, the anime that uses all of those tropes the best and mixes in wet humor with it in a way that's really not standard for any kind of Asian situation. It's Gintama. Gintama does that the best.
Oh, fact.
It's the best of the work, because they have plenty of sarcasm in there, but it's mixed in with that wet humor. So it's the best.
Yeah. Now, I think Gintama, it's like, we had Excel Saga, and Excel Saga, me just took it too far. I'm like, this is too much. Like burn the witch almost with Excel Saga. I'm like, this is way too much. But Gintama had just enough seriousness, but also enough parody to keep you coming back to like want to see what they're going to do next with the world. And I think that particular part is what made it real dope, like what made it real fun to watch and stuff like that. So I agree. I agree with the assessment on that. I think that's like I said, I think we're kind of all in between, because we see the like merit wise, Americans have the language down. Like we have the full language down on dealing with comedy, where anybody listening to us that can understand us can get it. But the Japanese have just found a way to refine the visual. Like Julian was saying, it's just so much better to watch. Like you couldn't listen to anime and get the same experience. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't even know how would you explain an anime scene to a person? Like how would you explain wet humor to a person while it's happening on TV and they can't see it? Like you talk to a person, they're like, listen, yo, what just happened? Well, homeboy, just saw the girl that he liked face turn red, and then like literally like cannons bloodshot his nose. He flew into a window. It's just so.
And I would say it's fair to say for like this group in particular, like the three of us, we kind of grew up watching anime, so it's like So we're used to the tropes. So I still don't even think if it's like somebody that they're in their 20s or 30s and they just start watching this stuff, that it wouldn't be a natural transition. It might actually be kind of awkward, because you're basically learning another language. You're learning a visual language with it. So I feel like anime has shaped has actually shaped my sense of humor.
Same. No, like I think when we did me and Bobby Steels, we did a episode a couple weeks back. We talked about the state of anime, and we both were talking about this. And I think we all can agree on this, at least in most in part. We were watching anime before they were calling it anime. You know, it was just a cartoon for us. You know, like so. You know, you get like Ronin Warriors wasn't called an anime. You know, it was a cartoon. You know, Dragon Ball wasn't called an anime. It was a cartoon. G-Force wasn't called an anime. It was a cartoon. You know what I'm saying? Like, so we were just watching this, you know, so we just like got used to seeing certain things. Pokemon wasn't even really called an anime for years. Like, you know, like Ice, do you remember, like, Zama, you were collecting cards. So do you even remember them referencing it as an anime? That's like Pokemon.
We didn't like, we probably didn't realize it was not classified as an anime until what, like 6-7 seasons in.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like when we first started watching it, you know, we thought. I mean, I'm gonna be real, just to explain the ignorance of like knowing where these things came from. We were young. We thought he was all American. You know, like you know, you're like, oh, this must be an American thing. But like, you know, as you got older, you're like, well, their mouths ain't moving the same way. You know, like you started to see certain things, you know, that you knew would signify that it did not come from America. And then I finally realized that it wasn't. You're like, oh shoot, I didn't know it was I didn't know it was actually from Japan. And then like seeing it in Japanese, like seeing and having to get used to that and learning how to love that better. You know, like no offense to dubs, it's just dubs ain't the same no more. I mean, I gotta do subs, you know, subs over dubs here. You know, like certain dubs are dope. You know, Cowboy Bebop, Samurai Champloo. I give a pass to Dragon Ball, but I'm really starting to like Dragon Ball. Like I like that, and I like the Japanese version better. Yeah, but it's a couple of them I think that we like just grew up on. It was in English, you know, it was dub, and it just felt better. But I can't watch like the one we're gonna talk. I can't watch Bleach and dub.
No,
I can't. The voice acting was too good. Yeah, it was too good in Japanese, man. I was like, I can't do that. I've been spoiled with excellence. I can't go back to like it just being good enough. I can't do that, you know. So yeah, but whatever you guys thinking in that are listening to us, you know, you can email us, tell us which one you prefer more, dry humor, wet humor, tell us why. You can email us at tnigma@enigmasunchained.com or icenigma@enigmasunchained.com. So let's get into Bleach and talking about what made Bleach so unique at its launch. You know, it came out on October 5th, 2004. I think it wasn't it 2 years? I think it was after Naruto release. I think it was 2 years. Naruto, I believe, came out anime style in 2002, if I'm not mistaken. I could be mistaken by that because I remember us being in the anime club and watching Naruto first because they couldn't really get Bleach. And Julian, being the G that he was at the time, you know, he had what was the name of the freaking disc, man? You could burn the images on. What was the name of it?
We're talking about Light Scribe.
Light Scribe. You know, like cats don't even know what that is now, probably. But like no, homeboy had like would get us some CDs. I mean, get us some DVDs, and he would burn them. We get them from Real Player. Cats probably know what Real Player is anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how crazy this is. I like to start remembering. I'm like, yo, we use Real Player to rip the episodes from off the internet, and or you torrent it or something like that to get it off the internet, and you and he would put it on DVDs for us to watch. You know what I'm saying? So we got like this is before Crunchyroll. This is before you could just syndicate it. You know, just I'm just gonna go over here and just stream it and binge it. You couldn't do that, right? Like can I get a witness on that?
I mean, that's true. Like there was no television that was bingeable at that time. This is still what we would consider to be early internet days.
Facts.
You know, like that. Like what was it? Napster was still kind of a thing at that point.
It was.
It still kind of existed at that point. Like Facebook was brand new. It was only for college students at that time, and only certain colleges. Not all colleges had it. Like we were some of the first Facebook people.
And what was the name? It was we had MySpace, we had Black Planet.
Oh yeah,
we're not gonna talk about Black Planet, but but we had MySpace, Black Planet, and we had it was one called a College Book. You know, it was something like that. It was an alternative, like it was a clone almost of Facebook. But they had another form of social media. It didn't jump off, of course, because otherwise we would have College Book. But the you know, remember people were boasting about T1 connection, and that was like 5 megabits. You know what I'm saying? Like that was a big deal. You know what I'm saying? Us being on a connected on server to just be able to get on the internet, like and using Ethernet cables was like a first. when I got to college. You know, I'd never seen an Ethernet cable until I got to college. You know what I'm saying? So like, yeah, stuff like that. You know, back in the day, we used to like have to scrounge for it. Mitchell, what was the name of the downloading service? Was it LimeWire? LimeWire?
Oh man, you name it, I had it.
It's LimeWire, I think, wasn't it? It was LimeWire.
Yeah, one was LimeWire, but there was another, was like iMesh or something like that. It was
LimeWire, iMesh,
Filetopia. That was the one that saved us lots of time and back in the day. Filetopia had everything. At least at that particular point in time, they had everything. So we could like go on to look for anime, music, movies, whatever we want. We could just go on that joint. And then LimeWire dropped, and then it was fire. And we got on LimeWire and torrented. Then we got iMesh. And iMesh was all right, but it just wasn't a real one. You know, LimeWire was a real one for a while until we realized it was like doing some ignorant phishing stuff in the back. But that's a whole nother situation. You know what I'm saying? You did what you had to do to get your anime. So, you know what I'm saying? But what
Aries.
Say again? Aries. Facts. I mean, like, I remember CJ had I think he had Napster. If I'm not mistaken. It was one of the guys we had on the 7th floor. They had when we were in college, they had Napster, and I remember they got cracked down. I can't remember who it was. I don't think it may not have been CJ. It may have been somebody else. But yeah, so yeah, but on the real though, you know, going back to this, you know, what made Bleach unique? And like for to be released in 2004 when we get the anime, I think it was like 05, 06, something. It was probably 2 years after when we got an anime. What made that joint unique for its time? Anybody can take that.
Mitch, you want to go first?
I'll try. Let's see. I think what made it different was the fact that, because you know, you had like Dragon Ball Z. You know what I'm saying? You had everybody just, you know, fighting fighting one fight for like 10 episodes.
Oh, facts, man.
So
15 episodes.
And then hollering for the next 5. And then
yes.
So I mean, so you got conditioned to that. Then, like I say, like Naruto started like I think 2 years earlier, and that was cool. But I think what it was about Bleach was the fact that nobody really knew what a Soul Reaper was. On top of the fact that like once you like if you stayed with it, everybody had a different power with their sword, or Zanpakuto, as they called it.
Yeah.
So no, you know what I'm saying? So nobody had, like, there were no two people with the same power. So I think that, you know what I'm saying? And so I think that's what caught people's attention and then retained their attention.
Yeah.
Plus, you know what I'm saying, once you got past like the beginning and when they actually went to the Soul Society, I think that's what really like pulled a lot of people in.
Oh, bro, Soul Society was so lit.
Oh yeah,
dude. Yeah, I'll get to that in a moment. Yeah, like continue, man.
No, I'm done. Who next?
Go ahead, Drew.
I would definitely. I agree with a lot of Mitchell's assessment. I feel like there was basically, at least when Bleach was still new, there were basically two classes of viewers. You had viewers who had seen Yu Yu Hakusho years before and liked it, and then you had folks who either didn't like Yu Yu Hakusho and then liked this, or they were just uninitiated with Yu Yu Hakusho. So the idea of having sort of like a teenage Ghostbuster type thing who acquires power sort of against his, he doesn't want it. He just sort of through happenstance gets it.
Yeah.
And basically ends up having to assume the role as a Ghostbuster for his environment. That's Yu Yu Hakusho. It's the same kind of story. And then even the way that Ichigo's character plays out over time is still very, very similar to, well, you find out that you're actually not a human being. You're actually a creature of a different race altogether that's entangled in this cosmic battle between the two worlds. And that's exactly what happened with Ichigo all to the conclusion of the show in the manga and in the anime. Same thing happened. So for folks who were like impacted by Yu Yu Hakusho, because love it or hate it, it's legendary.
Yes.
It was the framework for undeniable for the teenage boy who acquires great power and is fighting the occult. It was the winner. Like there's no jump video game now that doesn't have Yusuke in it, even though there's hardly anybody who even know who Yusuke is anymore. he's still in it. You know, that's just how much of an OG he is.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that's like, so for me, I was so impacted positively by Yu Yu Hakusho. For me, getting another story like that, but just with swords and flight and bigger monsters, I was all for it. So like, to me, it was like, oh, this is a new Yu Hakusho. Like, and I loved Yu Yu Hakusho. And then when it stopped being that in a way, when it sort of diverged from that, I think that's when I started to try to judge it on its own merit and not based on Yu Yu Hakusho. So that's what it was for me. And
that's fact, because I remember, at least for the first part, like the first season, it felt real contained. And you know, I mean, I remember when because I came into it when Soul Society came on. And June was like, no, dude, no, bro, you need to watch this. And I'm like, man, what this is, man? You know, we it's like we already had multiple things like video games, anime stuff we was at. But I gotta be real. Julian was the one who put us on to this. Like, we wasn't even really on it until he got on it. He was like, no, you don't understand. You need to watch this joint. And that's what he hooked us up with the DVD. And we was like, oh, this is fire. This is low key fire. I mean, like we didn't expect it to be that good. But that first season was it's such a slow burn. It was such a great introduction to the, at least for me, what I thought what really, really made it dope is the music.
Oh yeah, I was actually about to say that. It's some of the best anime music of all time.
Bro, I mean, the music, and I'm surprised. Man, Mitchell, I'm ashamed of you. I'm surprised you ain't saying nothing about the music, bro. I mean, like, listen, like that was the first anime I've watched where every single character has their own theme, like a movie. You know what I'm saying? Like I mean, like, you know, Ichigo had his own dun 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 dun. You know that thing. Chad had his own music. You know, Inoue had her own music. Uryu had his own music. You know, we got to Soul Society. They had their own strings. You know what I'm saying? We got Arrancar. They just like, I was like, I don't know what brothers is doing what in the background, but keep doing what you're doing. And they mixed in like the Latinx type style music. Dun, 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 dun. I'm like, yo, what the world's happening? No, we sitting over here like, is this real right now? You know, it was such a dope blend of Japanese and Latinx culture. I thought that was real dope about the actual story, is that like he was blending two different cultures into one culture. A lot of the Wekio Mundo stuff was actually from old school Mayan and Inca legends, and I was like, that I just thought that was dope, that he actually pulled from the pool of Japanese lore and pulled like the different spirits and stuff like that from Japanese lore in Japan, and then he would go to the Latinx or into the more Latin America type of vibe. And I was like, I don't know how you flip that, but it was such a great blend. And I also like one of the small things that I don't think a lot of people really appreciated when he began it, but it was something that we all caught when we were like when we first started seeing the mangas. You know, it's like and before they know you can see mangas a whole lot. Maybe you found a few of them in Books A Million, but mangas were rare. You didn't see them a lot. But I remember seeing the Bleach manga. You remember how every single cover they were in different clothes. You know, what anime you got with a main character change clothes?
That's true. And yeah, actually, that's a really good point there. Like how they change clothes, they change backgrounds, and like, and it wasn't just the main characters changing clothes. That's one thing about. Okay, so a little bit of background for everybody, and I'll try to say this in a couple minutes because I got to jump off a little bit. Anyone who is a long time thing of anime, one of the unspoken rules, and it's part of it is to save drawing time and to save money. But anyone who is a long time watcher of anime, they can tell within 5 to 10 minutes of any show who all the main characters are, because anyone who's not a main character is not highly stylized. They're wearing, a lot of the background characters all wear similar clothes. They have really unremarkable appearances, but main characters are always drawn in a very stylized way. All have different clothing from each other. And one of the things that makes Bleach special and different is that even side characters that were not main characters were very well stylized. There were very few characters in it that were sort of like background characters that didn't stand out, and everyone's clothes changed. Every single character in the show had at least one clothing change throughout the series. Every single, it was fantastic.
Yeah, man, and it's interesting. You look at Dragon Ball Z. They didn't change Goku's clothes until Super. Like on a real, like you look at like aesthetically wise, like him and Vegeta like has pretty much been riding with the same type of armor for the most part. Maybe change a variation of a color, but to like really put them in different clothes and have them like do different things, because Goku always wore like this one shirt. Vegeta had the pink shirt, the shirt with Batman on the back. I think it was, man. But they didn't really have a good wardrobe change. Yusuke Urameshi had a small, wardrobe. It wasn't super big, but but you knew he had a yellow shirt and the blue jeans. You know what I'm saying? Like you knew who Yusuke was. You know what I'm saying? You saw homeboy with the cut off sleeves on. You knew this sucker was gonna catch a spirit gun or a spirit shotgun. You gonna catch this. You catch this today, son. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what made Yusuke so hood too, because Yusuke was like, no, everybody can get it. Like everybody can get it. You know what I'm saying? Like come on these streets if you want to. That dude was a street rat. He was like, come on these streets if you want to, son. I own this block. But I thought that the uniqueness of it, and how they constructed the way that they made them so unique. Like each character was completely unique, and then the environments were unique. You go from the beginning where it's just in one city, and then he gets stabbed twice by like finessed. This guy going to say, there's no other word you can use for Byakuya. Okay, he finessed that dude. Okay, I mean, that dude is the king of finessing people. He just finessed him, stabbed him twice and didn't even move his body. And I was like, how you gonna finesse this dude like this? I mean, it made Ichigo so bad.
And then had the nerve to say that you even fall slow.
All right, let's
he did. You remember that? He said you even fall slow.
He did, so he stabbed him again. He was so savage. I was like, I ain't gonna lie to you. There's not many anime characters where I'm like, I'm riding down with this sucker from beyond. I was like, this dude has my undying love. Let's go. I love this cat. Like he was just so savage. He was like, that dude was like, you with a bunkai. Sucker, it will take you 1,000 years to even catch up. I'm like, man, why are you so cold? It was just, he was just out the box. He was like, sucker, you are beneath me. Which I thought was pretty dope dynamic, and how like Ichigo just became obsessed with beating that dude, and the whole progression. So
Ichigo became a booty hole. That's what happened. Like, cause Ichigo was kind of nice before that. After that, he became petty.
That's true.
Byakuya's character just for the listeners who haven't watched Bleach. One of the antagonist in the first couple of seasons was another Soul Reaper called Byakuya, who's overwhelmingly powerful.
Facts.
They end up becoming allies later on, but the two of them are rivals for a while. And Byakuya is overwhelmingly the main character, Ichigo. And Ichigo was even-tempered. He was a thug, he was fighting stuff like that, but he was even-tempered and gentle and nice for the most part to everybody. But Byakuya made him petty. There was basically like when Byakuya and Ichigo finally fight there's like half an episode is dedicated to just the two of them trading bars.
Fact.
And Ichigo goes, oh, I thought I could use my level 1 power to fight you at your best. I guess that was stupid. He just made him so petty. He took somebody who was humble and made him arrogant. I did not like that.
That actually is a very good observation though, because I'm gonna be real with you. I love the fact that Ichigo grew a spine. I'm not gonna lie, because like before that, Ichigo was like, I'm just gonna keep doing good, and that's cool. But Byakuya, man, that dude was a man of conviction. Me and conviction. So he was like, no, I believe this. You are wrong. You're sincerely wrong, and I don't care what you got to do. You're not stepping past me. And the immovable object. With the unstoppable force meeting the immovable object, where in the story, Ichigo figures out Bunkai, or at least quote unquote figures out Bunkai. That's a whole nother episode. We ain't gonna get into that. But figures out Bunkai and fights Byakuya, and homeboy does Senkai. Look. There ain't many times in anime history where I like geeked out, like really, really just geeked out in the moment. But when I saw your boy like turn that whole thing into a dome of swords, I was like, man, look. It's like, look. One of the flyest Bunkais to this day. Even with all the new stuff, Senkei is still, to me, one of the dopest. He had one of the prettiest Bunkais, man. It was so nice. And then even the final move where he got like the half halo behind him, on his back with the sword. Bruh, the dude was so gangster. I was like, this dude, he got it, man. But yeah, like so speaking of that, which arc did you like the most and why?
I'll say mine, and then after that, I gotta bow out. It has to be Soul Society. The Soul Society arc is because that's where you got to see Ichigo grow rapidly. That's where you introduced the concept of a Bankai. That's where you got to find out more about the Quincy's. Like everybody's. Not only was there a balance between introducing new characters, all stylized characters with costume changes and highly detailed backgrounds. So not only did they introduce at least 25 new characters, because it was at least 25 new characters that they introduced. Because you got the 10 squads, and then they all have lieutenants and
all got lieutenants. That's because they were people that weren't even lieutenants. Yeah.
Yeah, so they introduced at least 25 new main characters. Like they were all characters that continued to pop up for the rest of the series. So 25 new main characters with side stories and backstories, all with unique powers. They brought that in and still developed the original 6 characters. Really, really developed them, and then brought in Urahara, Yoruichi, and then began to hint at Ichigo's daddy Ishin. As sort of being a trifecta. So you brought in 25 new regular characters and then began to develop all of your main characters as well with a whole lore and mystique and stuff like that. It was masterfully done, but it's really hard to binge watch. You can tell that season especially was designed to be watched weekly because the recaps take up the first 10 minutes of it.
That's fair.
They do. It's not meant to be.
Yeah.
And on that note, gentlemen, I'm going to bow out. Thank you so much for having me on.
That's cool, man. Appreciate you, brother.
Bye.
All right. So, Mitchell, what about you, man? Like, which arc did you like the most?
I mean, I'll see if I can pick something else because I think for anybody that pays attention to it, that really pays attention. So everybody follows madly in love with the Soul Society art because, like you said, you don't just see the main 4 characters that they introduce you to. You know what I'm saying? Like you get, you know what I'm saying? And don't get me wrong, like I said before we started, like Ichimaru, like that was my dude, and then come to find out he wasn't who he was presented as to begin with.
Yeah. Yeah,
but like
that was a good twist, though. I mean, you kind of, we all had a feeling, about your boy. It was like, we were like, all right, this smile on this dude, something just ain't right. Just being real, you like, you done been around some crazy people, you like, nah, these smiles, man. This mean this sucker hiding something, But he, I'm talking about like. Cause me, I love villains, so Azim was my dude, man. I mean, I like Azim when they introduced him. I was like, this dude actually seems like, he seems like a very logical man and just trying to take care. And I realized that he was super logical. He was too logical. I was like, that's crazy. But outside of him, it was Byakuya, Aizen, and Tosin. Who I think that they really like. Let's say I agree with you. Soul Society art was the best art. And that's only because there was a cohesiveness about the story that just fit very well. It was a fight. There was a beginning, middle, and an end to a whole arc. The Arankar arc came real close, but the power that they gave Aizen the end was just lame. I was like, so he just turned into a butterfly. I mean, that's pretty much what happened. I'm like, your boy just turned into one of the hardest cats in the business, just turned into a butterfly. I was like, they covered Tosin with a bunch of eyes, and he a blind man. I'm like, this is stupid. I was like, that joint, that was when they were losing me. It was near the end. I was like, why you don't get Tosin eyes? I just didn't. I mean, I guess I get it. They wanted to show that Tosin was already an evil man, But I was like, this is just not the way to do it. It was such a pitiful end to Tosin. You know, I was like, man, that may have been a point, but it was just anticlimactic. Your boy just sliced him down. What's his name? Was it Yamamoto? No, it wasn't Yamamoto. It wasn't Yamamoto. What's your boy name? He was a wolf.
What's boy? I know it started with a K.
Kimimaru? Is it no? Let me a second. Let me see.
Sajin Kumamura.
Yeah, because I remember he was like always he was always cool with your boy, and he was trying to find a way to make this stuff right. You know, like I think one of the dopest things is him to Tosin. You know, like I think we got a good kick out of that. Just hearing him, like he was just so mad at Tosin. When Homeboy was like going in the air with Aizen, and he was like, Tosin. No, Tosin. Yeah, it was just, he didn't care. He said, what about your promise, Tosin? Tosin, I'm fulfilling my promise. Tosin! Yeah. Komaru wasn't playing games with nobody, man. I appreciated that dude's tenacity. But his Bunkai was weird. You know, like the fact he like spawned like this huge giant with him, and it moves with him. I was like, that's very strange. Like as far as like how to make that work. He made it work when he was fighting with Tosin. But outside of that, who was it that sliced him up? Was it Aizen? Aizen that put him in the black box? You know, he just ripped that dude. I was like, dang, he just got embarrassed. The boy just like, man, look, like keto number 99 or something like that. I was like, oh, he done.
Like Black Coffin or something like
Black Coffin, bruh. I was like, look, man.
That was right.
When we saw that joint close, I was like, oh, he gone. I was like, he gone, yo. He ain't coming back. No offense to him, but nah, he ain't gonna make it out of there. We thought he was dead. You know, like it was just, all you saw was a black box shatter and a bunch of blood flying in the air, and your boy fall. Like, oh my goodness. I was like, what just happened? You know, so, yeah, but it was. I think that was, to me, that was a very dope part of the story. Like Society arc, I would give the Encore arc a good second place, just because of the first part where Ichigo trying to refigure out his power. You know, seeing that that he was a Vizard, you know, like trying to figure out holification and all that type of stuff. And he was like, I'm trying to figure this out, and this stuff is killing me. Like literally, it's killing me. And his beef versus him and Grimjaw, who was a cool character that died. And, I didn't like Grimjaw dying, but I understand. I thought Grimjaw, yeah.
I forgot, like how did he even die?
Man, he died like a punk, man. That dude was scrapping with Ichigo. Ichigo had beat him like fair and square. And your boy's like, all right, it's bet round 2. And all you see is a freaking blade that just flies from the side. And I think it was the number 3 Encore. And your boy just, he just wiped him out. What's up?
Oh, Harabel.
Yeah, like homeboy he just embarrassed your boy. I was like, what the world just happened? He was a full monologue. He's like, you won't beat me. You won't boom. And you just see the thing just flying from the side. I'm like, he gone.
He told the truth.
I thought to myself, seeing it as Bleach, there ain't no way they're just gonna let him die. Now, I was wrong.
Like, it's almost like it happened and I kind of forgot. Like, it's like I pushed that memory out because it was like, wait a minute. Like, no, they can't let Grimjaw go like that.
Yeah, he just got waxed. Okay, I'll take that better. Okay, I forgot. He was in a 1,000-year blood arc. Like I was saying, most people haven't even read the 1,000-year blood war arc because he did. I forgot he did come back. He did come back at a key point in that time, but they wrote him out like he was gone. He got smacked by that doggone sword, man. The sword looked like 2 moons. I was like, he gone. No, it was like Neutra Gilga is the name of the guy. He had like that thing. He had that patch over his eye, like Kenpachi.
That's the one Kenpachi knocked out.
yeah. Kenpachi busted that sucker just with form. I was like, Kenpachi is dangerous. But that was saying like that type of stuff. I think was what made that show dope for us. Is that for us, 2004, 2005. All we had was Dragon Ball, Gundam Wing. Then we had that trash called G Gundam. And, we had that. You had Gotcha Man or G-Force in our language, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh. Trying to think everything that they would have actually been showing in the States on TV. You had Adult Swim, which had Trigun, that had Cowboy Bebop. Was that I remember when that joint dropped, it blew us away. We were like, this is fire. Like we got that. Rurouni Kenshin came out in 03. I think it was 03, 04 when they dropped the joint. You know what I'm saying? We were watching that. So all them joints was dropping, but Bleach was still so intricately different from each one of them. Like you were saying earlier about each one of them having a different power. Like I have not seen that. Where we watch Dragon Ball, everybody got key power and stuff like that, but they may have one special move. But as far as like their entire moves being utterly different from each other, Bleach was the GOAT for that. You know what I'm saying? Like I gotta give props is due on that side where Homeboy's creativity like took them that far.
Right. Oh yeah. I just hate. Now, thankfully, they're gonna bring that back so we can actually like finish off Bleach. They put me in the mindset of what happened with Inuyasha.
Yeah, Inuyasha went through this like a same cycle where like how many years was it, bro?
It was a minute.
It was a decade, wasn't it? It was about a decade and some change too, wasn't it?
Yeah, because like they did I think it was like 167 episodes.
Yeah. And
then it just ended. It was like, oh well, yeah, we're gonna keep on going on adventures until we beat Naraku. And then it ended. I saw what happened. I think I got like the bootleg DVDs ahead of time, so I saw that before we saw it on Adult Swim.
Of course you did.
I was like, man, like y'all, like I mean. Yeah, y'all could have ended this better, but okay.
They tried to use a bunch of the movies. Remember, like they had a bunch of movies kind of drop like in the same amount of time, but like it don't work. It don't work the same way. It's like no offense, but this don't work. So yeah, but like Inuyasha having a chance to kind of come back. It was like the early 2000s, like 2007, something like that, when they released it, and they finished it off. Well, when year was it?
I forgot, but I know it was called The Final Act.
It was the final act, but I think it was after we graduated. I think that was at least 2007, 2008. But yeah, I remember them them dropping it and like it actually doing well enough to just go ahead and finish. And I think Bleach right now, it makes sense for it to just go ahead and finish. Because there's a lot of people that will not touch the manga. So I read the whole manga. I know what happened at the very end. I won't spoil it for anybody because I know right now we're getting into pretty much people that are getting interested. I would actually say it is a definite read for people. I would tell you a few of the dislikes that I had, but not to go beyond the Arrancar arc, so I don't spoil it for nobody else. But like pretty much the dislikes that I had was how aloof it began to get right after Soul Society arc. Like Soul Society arc was one of them joints that like to me was a quintessential watch for anime. Like Julian said it best though. Like honestly, they did do like a 5 to 6 minute recap on every episode because there was so much going on. There was so many characters. Chad was in there. He had like this crazy monster arm. You know what I'm saying? That let him like he was a G with that. NOA kind of had this ability where she could negate stuff from ever happening. You know what I'm saying? Uryu Ishida, he was a Quincy, and the Quincy was the guys who had the bow and arrows, and they were kind of like the anti-reapers. Because when a Soul Weaver knocked off a hollow, their soul was kind of taken back to where it was supposed to be. But Quincy, when they killed it with an arrow, that energy was literally lost. So it created the imbalance. And that was actually a big theme for the last part of the war. And why there was a war is because the Quincy's thinking that they were doing good was actually causing more harm. And their leader knew that. Their leader was absolutely down with doing that. It was like, facts, we are going to create an imbalance. We're going to tear this whole thing apart. For the most part, I won't go into how, but I'm just pretty much stating the part. But like they were creating an imbalance, and that's something that like I think Rukia and them talked about in the very beginning about why they didn't like Quincy's and why they didn't even want him in Soul Society. What's crazy scientist's name? Because I remember when he was scrapping.
I think he's like he in my top 5. But
I know he is.
he was a fool.
Oh man, he was. He was a wonderful character, though. I think as far as like, hey, okay, facts. This is 100% facts. This ain't even for debate. Because I know. Ice gonna agree with me when I say this. He number one for saying Bunkai. Nobody else said it better than him. Nobody said Bunkai more interesting than your boy. He was just laughing at Bunkai, and he just dropped it. I was like, what the world's going on? You know. You know what I'm saying? Like there was no announcement for a Shikai, remember? They just called the name of their Zanpakuto. Yeah. But Bunkai, you actually had to say Bunkai. And I was like, what is a Bunkai? And your boy joint turned into this like worm. But Uryu still get the MVP for that spot because he wrecked that thing. I mean, he wrecked it. He wrecked it with that one arrow. I was like, oh my goodness, Uryu is a savage. He
had to fight for that though.
He did. It didn't come easy. No, let's not get it twisted. That wasn't no easy win, bro. Like homeboy, he almost died. I think he lost his power after that. For a while, you know, he lost his power for a long time after that. But he was, he was. I gotta give him props. That was first off, that bow and arrow he had in that episode, that was a gangster bow and arrow. I was like, yo, homeboy looked like he coming to wreck the world. And he was like, come here. I was like, he was also kind of hollering at Nemo. Remember the girl?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was kind of. I was like, all right, bro, back up, man. Your boy said that's his property. He was mad. He's like, you ain't gonna talk.
Yeah. He got hot.
Oh, man.
Yuri Cole, I'm about to butcher his last name. Karuchki. I think that's how you say it.
He's Karuchki.
Yeah.
Karuchki, Mayuri.
Yep.
Yeah. There's like we used to call him Mayuri. Yeah. Like he was great. I mean, but that dude was crazy. He was the epitome of cray. Extremely smart dude, but he was mad eccentric, and that's why I know that you like. That's why we knew that you was gonna like him. I'm like, this is gonna fall in love with this kid. He was weird off the jump. It was weird. I was like, yeah, Mitch this gonna be in top 3, top 4 from Mitch. Right, watch. He had blue hair. So I was like, yeah, Mitch gonna like this cat. What I'm saying? Like,
only the second captain of the science division.
Facts. Right under Urahara. Man, which honestly, he was in jail. That was the crazy part. Like Urahara recruited that cat from the cell.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how real that dude. Yo, Mayuri was a real one. And he went about nothing that like, I did something illegal. I did. He was like, I did that. Like, but I did that though. Like, dog, bro. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, but I mean, it was. I think that like just the delivery and stuff like that. But like I said, the things that I did not like about the on-call arc stuff is the fact that they just it felt rushed. It just felt like they were trying to finish it up. The few characters that they had that were really really dope. Like I said, like Tosin, a couple of the on-call captains. They were just Espada. I think that was the name, right? Like the spot. Some of the top 10, some of them were just trash. You had the one dude that had the rod ability. That was dope. You know what I'm saying? Your boy just like nah, everything rots. Everything ages in my presence. I was like, oh, that dude's a savage. But at the same time, apparently they were talking about how Aizen could actually beat him. And I was like, how in the world can Aizen beat this cat when everything that's around him can actually age? It's because Aizen has far more power than Homeboy. He was so much stronger than him, and he was also faster than him. So as fast as he could activate it, Aizen would have killed him. Which pretty much is what happened. Why Aizen took the throne from him from Enheco Mundo, because he was the king.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I was like, dang, that's crazy. Like Homeboy had the ability to actually just go in there and wax that dude, like without even having a bunkai, like without even showing Homeboy bunkai, and he turned into a butterfly.
Yeah.
That part. Didn't they kill your boy Jin in Encore Arc 2?
I think Aizen did get him.
Yeah, know what I'm saying? Like that was also another part that didn't right. I didn't feel right about that. I was like, I thought this dude had more left in the tank, like Mark Henry. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
That's more left in the tank. You know what I'm saying? I thought you had some more left, but
That's world great slam.
yeah. Just keep the salmon jacket away from him. But you know what I'm saying? But yeah, like I was like, oh, you know, that's pretty fine, you know, like, but I was like, he dead? Like, how? You know, like, man, come on, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like there was so much from that the homeboy had to live for. You know what I mean? I was like, he about to turn a curve. You know, like it looked like he was actually coming out of that stuff. You know, and they were like, nah, murk this sucker. Nah, they just murked.
Pretty much. Because man, he was already like he was too close to Eisen.
Yeah.
You know, he didn't
in too deep.
Almost about to achieve his goal, so now we can't let him achieve that goal.
Yeah, I mean, but he was in too deep. He was in way too deep. But like, you know, Rangiku, Matsumoto, I think that was her name. She was with I forget your boy name, short dude, like who had ice power. I forget his name off top of dome, but at home it'll come to me in a moment. I remember, you know, they were childhood friends. Her and Gin were childhood friends, and they were like tight. I mean, I think that was love there. I was like, yo, I think this is love, bro. Because like she was like, nah, I know that this dude can be good, and just how much, you know, Toshiro is the name of her captain. That was his name. Yeah. Yeah. Like so. I mean, but that whole situation, man, that was heartbreaking. I was like, dang, that's messed up, yo. Yeah, but like, so once again, props to them, because I think that it was still a fire of doing that story. But I do believe that just the way that they tied up certain characters didn't really do them didn't do them a favor. Yeah, it didn't do them any favors how they ended the Arrancar Hikyomundo arc. It just didn't feel like it was complete. It didn't feel like it was something that they could just, oh, you know, we finished. We could just go ahead and, you know, give people a brief pause. We'll pick it up later on. It just felt kind of like, oh, we're going to take Ichigo powers away. And I was like, okay.
Man,
you know what I mean?
As cool as it looked.
Oh, it was fire.
It was like, okay, well, yeah, you know, he only get to use this one time, and then that's it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I was saying like that just, I was like, I get it, but it is, I mean, if it was the series finale fully, like, and then we weren't getting nothing else, no more mangas or nothing like that, that would have been a dope ending. Yeah. But what we ended up getting was the doggone Fullbring arc after that, and that was unforgivable to me. I was like, this is a trash arc. Like, I get what you're trying to do, but this was not. It just wasn't fun. Like it wasn't like Soul Society was fun. Arrancar on Hikyomundo arc was fun. Yeah. You know, it was fun to watch. It was fun to be a part of. But when we got to that one, man, Ichigo was mad depressed, which I get it though. I mean, I think that it was actually showing him, you know, in that particular state where it's just like he had a crisis. You know, I think that there's some merit in that, but it was still boring. I was like, this is a boring arc, you know, like I mean, most people, if you talk to them to this day, like people who like Bleach, they probably can't even tell you what Fullbring about. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the.
That's what you about it.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead, yeah.
You forget about the about the seasons where they actually brought the Zanpakuto chose to life.
Oh man, let's not talk about that, man.
So then let me ask you this.
The Bounto arc, man. You talking about that joint?
Oh,
I had wiped that out of my memory, man. Why you did it to me, bro? Oh my goodness. It was called the Bounto arc. That was the Bounto arc, man. Bro, that was a trash arc. I mean, and it was messed up is that like that had nothing to do with the anime. That was all filler.
Oh yeah,
all filler. And I'm like, homie, you could have.
Money talk. You got to do something.
Yeah, it was the Bounto arc. The trying to remember the there's some more. It was the there was the new captain. There was a new captain arc also. The new captain popped in, and they definitely, they start having them issues. The Zanpakuto Unknown, stuff. I'm like, man, look, bro, this is no. It's a no. It was a no. Like those filler episodes was not good. So now I think that left a bad taste in my mouth. But in conclusion of like the whole thing with Bleach, though, I would recommend. I think we both would actually say this. We recommend that you watch it. We recommend that you watch it. If you have not watched it. We recommend you read the manga if you have not read the manga. The manga's finished. The manga's been finished for years. It goes all the way to the 1,000-year Blood War arc, which is what they're going to pick back up on with the anime. If you want to like go in and check it out, I would definitely say go check them out. It's a wonderful. I think that it was a good story as far as what they need to do. Still not as strong as Soul Society. Soul Society arc. Soul Society arc is the strongest part of that story. Hands down. I mean, like that's even some of the Bunkai reveals in the 1,000-year part was just lame. I was like, okay,
yeah.
I'm reading. And I'm like, nah, bro. I waited this long for this. It's the equivalent of watching a dude like have this real cool hilt on his sword, and he pulls it out, and it's made out of like breadsticks. And what he does is it turns into a banjo, and he plays it or something like that. I was like, this is trash, man. I was like, I just can't, So I mean, I said, there's a certain parts of the story. I was like, I just can't do this right now. Like the threat wasn't really as imminent as they wanted it to feel. It just didn't feel as imminent as Aizen. And the Iron Car and the Espada and how gangster the Espada was set up to be. None of the guys in that story felt like that. But like I was saying offline with the guys, one of the things that we have to like respect is that at that time, Tite, Kubo was actually in a time crunch. He didn't even have a time to really like do everything he wanted to do. So he ended up doing like a few things afterwards to kind of fill in the gap for everybody after he finished what he had to finish for Jump. You know what I'm saying? So I would definitely say if you got the time to go in, check him out, like check out all the stuff that he has going on. He has a new one on. I think it's called Burn the Witch. It's the name of the new manga. It's actually pretty all right. I'm like he's probably gonna get picked up again. They're probably like, all right, bro, we gotta get you back in there. It's like, man, I'm sorry that I'm good, okay? I'm sorry I'm good at this. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I mean, it's low-key fire. It gets an A. I mean, I still would give it an A just because most of the thing is quite enjoyable. You know what I'm saying? But I know that a part of it that left a stain were parts that I know is not a part of the original story. It's a part of the anime story. It's kind of like me, as much as we kind of like ragged on Naruto stuff like that, we'll give Naruto some props, though they have 200 and something fillers. That's what dampened that whole story down. Is that they literally have like 200 filler episodes, and that is unacceptable. Just go on a break. I mean, just go on a break, man. It's like think about it, bro. Like think about like episode 130, right? And then we had, I think it was almost 250 episodes, like 220 episodes, I think, of Naruto, just a regular Naruto anime. Yeah. And before they went to Shippuden. And from 130 to the end, it was nothing but fillers.
Yeah.
I mean, 131, 132, whatever it was, to the end, it was nothing but fillers. So that's like 90 episodes of fillers. You know what I'm saying? I was like, that's just stop. You know what I'm saying? I get that people want to be watching stuff and stuff like that, but I think sometimes supply and demand actually works in your favor. Just like, yo, we're going to go on a 3-week hiatus and we'll be back. You know what I'm saying? Like just to kind of make sure everything is good to go. But I mean, it was so many fillers. And even the Shippuden, man, they ain't broke a record for how many dog fillers they had. I mean, like the Shippuden story is not very long. If you think about it, it's not very long.
No,
it's not. No, it's not. It's not as long as people make it out to be. I'm like, no, it's not. It's not very long. I mean, like by the time you got to that, you had probably a couple hundred more. But as far as to tell the story, it was pretty simple. It was pretty stack and dry. Just take a couple mangas and put them together, and you pretty much are done. But yeah, I mean, it didn't have to be as long. Like I think it was like 400 or something like that in Shippuden. And I was like, homie, half of these are not even a part of the story. So Bleach didn't do that. Bleach didn't go that far out. So props to them for like just kind of like stopping it. So, but any last thoughts you want to put on Bleach, man, before we stop talking about them?
I know the movies was hot.
Movies was gangster. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think some of the story he wanted in the movies, he actually he did more intricate stories in the movies because he had time.
Yeah.
You know, that was it.
Hands down.
Yeah.
That, and let's see. I hate what they did with Yachiro.
Oh man, dude, bruh.
I mean, I ain't gonna, like I say, like I don't like no spoilers, but you could have done, see, because now if I expanded, she in my top 10.
Yeah, yeah.
Because she was that was a fool. And
Oh, yeah.
And if he would have actually expanded on her,
Yeah.
right, expanded.
Mm-hmm.
I think she would have really been a problem.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? She could have even been a captain, in my opinion.
Oh, she would have been the captain easy. Man, like as far as like the way that she would have been the captain real easy, man. She was I mean, she was good. But the reveal at the end, I was like, really?
Yeah.
Like nobody else saw this and nobody was talking about how this actually was what was going on, so they could have helped him out. Nobody.
Right.
Yeah, that was stuff like that. That stuff bothered me, and the fact that like she could go out and touch people and grab people and get them from multiple locations. I'm like, hold up now, you know. So we're approaching Star Wars, the Rise of Skywalker, blatant abuse of character and lore now. So you know what I'm saying? I was like this ain't right. So yeah, but I was saying like stuff like that. I was like, it ain't gonna work. So if you read the 1,000-year blood war between the Quincy and the Shinigami, you will find out what happens with Yachiro, and I wonder if you will like it too. I mean, if you will like it, if you'll dislike it. We disliked it. We thought she deserved a little bit more than that. But yeah. Anything else?
Nothing else I can think of. What about you?
Nah, I think that's it, man. Like I said, I think like I said, we would recommend that you watch it. We will hope that you would enjoy it just like we did and see like how actually different it was and stuff like that. So, but that's our brief old introduction into Bleach. This was the Unchained Universe episode. So you guys will see this drop. And we're going to do another one soon. That'll be about wrestling. So you guys can jump on that and see what's going on as well. But until then, this is T Nigma and this is the Ice Nigma. He was laughing so hard he forgot to do his outro.
Oh, yeah.
Do it again. And this is T Nigma and this is Ice Nigma.
Yeah,
and we are out.
I'm gonna go.
Let's go. Yeah, we're gonna wrap this bad boy up. We outie. Thank you guys for listening to Enigmas Unchained. If you like what you heard, please follow us on Apple and Google Podcasts by looking up Enigmas Unchained. Also, you can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Enigmas Unchained, as well as on Facebook by searching our name. Thank you guys for having us, and we look forward to seeing you again. Solve those enigmas. Don't leave them unsolved.